So I had a really good day. I saw a friend, and she's a relatively new friend, and we always have such a great time together, and I can just be myself with her, and we laugh, and we went to a flower show at a local college, and it was beautiful, and it was the first time I just wasn't weighed down all day in my worries and my constant anxiety, you know, and anxiety and my negative thoughts and my ripping myself apart and all these, things I do all day. I mean, I'm not going to completely fix every single negative thought I have or every single thing that gives me anxiety or whatever, but I can try to interrupt those thoughts as much as I can. And like I was saying yesterday about how I stopped that thought process about myself with the debt and the taxes and that whole issue. I stopped it before that thought became thinking and obsessing. And thinking and obsessing in a way that was going to make me more anxious and then was going to make me hate myself even more because it was all going to be negative and it was all going to be fear driven, right? So I'm not saying I'm always going to be able to do it. I'm always going to be able to stop it. But in that moment, I did. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. It made the day so much better. And some of you commented about how many negative things you say to yourself in a day or negative thoughts you have in your head. I do too. All day. My whole life. 50 years of this. 50 years of telling myself that I'm too ugly, too fat, too stupid, too whatever, too boring, too... I always, I'm never enough or I'm too much of something. And I wouldn't talk to my worst enemy that way. I talk to myself that way all day, every day. But it's the same action, just like the anxiety, right? So when I had that anxious thought about, oh my God, there's, these taxes and telling myself I'm an idiot and what am I going to do and this and that, it's the same kind of thing. It's the same kind of interruption. You have a thought that's negative and or anxiety producing or whatever it is, and stop and reframe it. Take a breath. Is that thought helpful? Is it really true? Maybe in the moment you believe it. Maybe you look in the mirror and you think to yourself, oh, I look ugly, or whatever you're thinking. Okay, so maybe it's hard to tell yourself you look pretty instead. I can't do that most of the time. Most of the time I'm ripping myself apart because of my wrinkles or whatever other problem I'm, bothering me. But I can say to myself, that's not a helpful thought. I can say, is that kind? No, that's not kind. Do I deserve to feel bad about myself? Do I deserve the words that I'm saying to myself? No, I don't. So I can reframe that. I can stop that and I can say, is this helpful right now? Is this necessary? Is this thought going to make anything better? No. So we stop it. Maybe we don't stop the next thought or the next thought, but we stopped one. And that's how we heal our brains. 50 years of negative thoughts I've had in my head day in and day out. Fearful thoughts. Thoughts I rip myself apart. Thoughts about things I'm afraid are going to happen, or ways I've failed, or things I wasn't good enough at or did wrong, whatever. It's going to take a long time to fix that. And even if I miss 50 of those thoughts in a day, if I can fix one, that's a start. That's how I'm going to teach my brain to think differently. And then one day it'll be automatic. One day I won't automatically go from negative thought to obsessively thinking horrible things. I could maybe have a negative thought and it can just pass through. Because right now I have a thought, good or bad, mostly bad, and then it gets stuck. It just stews around in here. And then that thought blows up. And then I make conclusions about that thought. And so say I have a thought and I'm thinking, ugh, you look ugly, right? In my head, then it will go into, okay, you look ugly, you shouldn't even bother going out today, or I don't know, what made you think that guy would be interested in you because you're ugly, or you're gonna die alone, or it just devolves into all these crazy things, and then you get all this anxiety and you feel worse about yourself. None of that is helpful. What good is any of that doing you? Even if you actually believe that, what I mean, you wouldn't talk to someone else that way. Don't talk to yourself like that. So as much as you can, even if it's once a day, try to catch those thoughts. Every time you have a negative thought or a fear-inducing thought or whatever, see if you can try to stop, take a breath, catch the thought, ask yourself if this is helpful, if this is kind, if this is necessary right now, and then see if you can set it aside. In time, your brain will learn not to think that way so much. That's how we get better. That's how we get healthier. That's how we get brains that don't tell us we're horrible all the time. We're going to teach our brain to be nicer to us. So, I had a good day. And my brain had a bit of a break, and it was wonderful, and it needed it. And I hope you say kind things to yourself. Every day, try to say one kind thing to yourself. I don't want anyone to be in pain. None of us deserve the pain that we're in. None of us do. No one deserves to feel sad all the time, or lonely, or heartbroken, or empty, or guilty and shame and all these awful things that come with depression. So stop beating yourself up. Just try to be nice to yourself once a day.